It's another quarterback debate today here on Critical Condition where we discuss Tom Brady or Drew Brees. Who's a better quarterback? Who should you have lead your team heading into the upcoming NFL season? Let's talk about it. Welcome to Critical Condition. My name is Joe, and I like to talk about sports way too much. With that being said, feel free to join me in the comment section down below and give me your thoughts. Who's a quarterback that you'd rather have heading into the upcoming NFL season? Give me the whys. Let's have a good, friendly discussion, and let me know what you think. I really want to hear it. Now, before I get started, I just want to go ahead and emphasize that this is just based on my opinion and what I believe and what I think. Obviously, my opinion may not be the right one, but that's why I want you to let me know. What do you think? So let's get started. So starting off with Drew Brees. So Drew Brees has a career record of 163 wins to 111 losses. He's thrown for 547 touchdown passes and has thrown for 237 interceptions. He's thrown overall for 77,416 total yards. For the 2019 season, Drew had a record of 8 wins to 3 losses, threw for 27 touchdowns to 4 interceptions, and threw for 2,979 yards. The Saints and Drew's season came to an end last season in a wild card loss to the Vikings when they lost 34-25. Overall, Drew Brees has 50 game-winning drives and has countless of records. These records include, most career touchdown passes thrown, most career passing yards thrown, most career pass completions, most career pass completions in a season, highest completion percentage, and countless others. Drew Brees is a one-time Super Bowl champion and a Super Bowl MVP. Now, among all these different things, Drew Brees has also been in one-time All-Pro. He's been voted to 13 Pro Bowls, and he is a 2006 Walter Payton Man of the Year. Now, let's go over with Tom Brady. So Tom Brady's career record is 219 wins to 64 losses. He's thrown overall for 541 touchdowns to 179 interceptions, and has thrown for 74,571 total yards. For the 2019 season, Tom Brady had a record of 12 wins to 4 losses. He threw for 24 touchdowns to 8 interceptions and threw overall for 4,057 total yards. His season, along with the Patriots, came to an end in a 20-13 loss to the Titans in the wild card round. Tom Brady, among his accolades, he is a 6-time Super Bowl champion. He has 4 Super Bowl MVPs. He's a 3-time All-Pro, a 3-time MVP. He's a 14-time Pro Bowl selection. Now that we got that out of the way, we're going to talk about the quarterback that I'd rather have getting into the next season. And thinking about this, to me, it's a hard debate just because of the fact that when I look at these quarterbacks, obviously we know that they're first ballot Hall of Famers. Both of these guys are amazing quarterback talents, and they're accomplished in their own way. And when I look at Drew and I look at Tom, both possess great leadership. They're great throwers of the football. They read defense at a high level. And you can't really compare those guys to many other quarterbacks. And when you look at their work ethic, they go head-to-head in this. Now, if I had to pick one quarterback for the next season, and, again, it's a tough one, I'd have to say I'd go with Tom. Just because of the fact that when I look at last season, when you truly do a deep dive into it, I see it pretty much be mirrored. And what I mean by that, I mean that, first of all, they both lost in the wild card round, okay? Both of them were pretty much the reason why their teams lost. They heavily contributed to that. Tom Brady threw a pick 6 and wasn't really moving the ball. Some people could blame that on the receivers, but again, the blame first, if it's not the coach, it goes to the quarterback. Now, when I look at Drew Brees in that wild card loss, you can blame Marcus Williams for that defensive play against Kyle Rudolph, but here's the thing, Drew had the chance to win this game, and he fumbled at such a very critical point of the game. He turned the ball over. Now, they look the same, but the most concerning thing to me is the fact that Drew did have a thumb injury last season and missed 5 games. The way I view it is that he got 5 weeks to rest because of the fact that the team didn't skip a beat. Teddy Bridgewater went in and went 5-0 for those 5 weeks, so it didn't really put an urge to the Saints. It's not like the season was on the verge of, getting lost, and they went like 2-3 during that stretch. No, Teddy, kept them afloat and did better than just that. He went undefeated. So looking at that and looking how both Drew and Tom pretty much looked the same, when Tom didn't have great weapons and when Drew was able to get some more rest, heading towards that pivotal end of the season, to me it gave me cause to pause on Drew. Now, when I look at it, and again, we've seen age be a factor with these guys. The last couple seasons, yeah, sure. Brady's season ended with, a wild card loss, and his last pass as a Patriot ended, in a pick six. But, 2 seasons ago, he won a Super Bowl. The previous season before that, he was in another Super Bowl against the Eagles, which they lost. Previous season before that, he was in another Super Bowl. So, you know what I mean? And in that time span, when you look at last season for Drew, they lost the game against Minnesota. And it was, heartbreaking fashion. And again, he laid a pivotal part in losing that game. Previous season, lost to the Rams. I know that there was a no call. And it was controversial and the Saints should have gotten a PI call for them. But when you look at it, though, the game was still tied. Drew went into overtime. And with a great supporting cast, great same offensive weapons, went to overtime and got the ball first. And couldn't put up the points that he needed to be able to win the game for his team. Previous season, Minnesota Miracle. The Saints were up and they lost by a go-ahead touchdown to end the game in regulation. Now that's not Drew's fault, but ultimately, the game was neck and neck in that, and that's just the way it goes. You lose, and that's what it says on the record books. A loss. So looking at that and look at what Tom Brady's had to deal with as far as the offensive pieces that he's had. It gives me concern for Drew moving forward. In this upcoming season, it'll be a true test for both of these guys to see who the better quarterback is when you look at how Tom Brady now has an offensive-minded head coach and has way better weapons that he did in New England. Bill Belichick's only produced one Pro Bowl offensive player in a draft, and that was Gronk. And now he's in Tampa Bay. I don't see Gronk being a pivotal part of the offense, but now he's got Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, two absolute studs. Tight ends are all set for him, and they're solid complementary pieces for him. So going into next season, I think the quarterback that I'd rather have, in my opinion, would just be Tom, just because of all the things that I've noted there. Now, let me know what you think. It's your turn. Please comment in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think. Who would you rather have as your quarterback? Do you agree, disagree with me? Let me know. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to give it a like. And if you enjoy content like this, please subscribe. I'll catch you later, guys. Goodbye.